Remember this little boy whose photo spread all over the world? This is what happened to him after 7 years. A starving African boy whose photo had gone viral in 2016 has undergone an incredible transformation after a charity organization provided him love, care, and education. Life has certainly changed for the boy whose photograph went viral after he was abandoned on the streets of Nigeria for being a witch. The now famous image was taken in January 2016, and it shows charity worker Anya Ringren Loven kneeling down to give the severely malnourished toddler water. The young boy, who is named Hope, survived his traumatic past and is now thriving. Although his exact age is unknown, doctors believe him to be around 6 or 7, meaning he could have been as young as 3 years old when he was abandoned on the streets. The toddler, who was found abandoned on the streets of Nigeria for being a witch, has undergone an incredible transformation. Painfully thin and riddled with worms, Hope was close to death when he was found wandering the streets of Nigeria after being abandoned by his family for being a witch. The malnourished 2-year-old stirred the hearts of millions across the world after he was pictured being given a sip of water by a horrified aid worker in January. But now the toddler has made a remarkable recovery after receiving vital hospital treatment and loving care with the help of $1 million or 700,000 pounds in global donations. He's living at the orphanage of Anya Ringren Loven, the charity worker who discovered him walking naked in the streets and gave him the much-needed drink of water. At the weekend, Mrs. Loven, originally from Denmark, shared images of the youngster on Facebook, showing his incredible transformation in just a matter of weeks. In the snaps, Hope looks completely different. He's gained weight and is seen playing with other children, including Miss Loven's own son, with a beam on his face. He's said to be really enjoying his life and receiving a lot of love from those around him. Miss Loven told her Facebook followers, "Hope is really enjoying his life now, having 35 new brothers and sisters who all take such good care of him, play with him, study with him, and make sure he's safe and getting a lot of love." The aid worker runs the African Children's Aid Education and Development Foundation, which helps children who suffer unimaginable cruelty after being branded witches. The youngsters are neglected and even killed by members of their community. Miss Loven was walking through the streets on January 31st when she discovered Hope in an emaciated state and bent down to give him a drink from her water bottle. Her kind action was captured on camera and posted online, where it made headlines and shocked millions across the world. The charity worker then scooped up the little boy before wrapping him in a blanket and taking him to the nearest hospital. There, he underwent a series of life-saving treatments, including blood transfusions and medication to remove worms from his stomach. At the time, Miss Loven feared the youngster, who had been living off scraps thrown to him by passers-by, would not survive. She called him Hope that so that in the worst-case scenario he would die with a name and with dignity. She wrote on Facebook earlier this month, "The day I carried this sweet little boy in my arms for the very first time, I was so sure he wouldn't survive. Every breath he took was a struggle, and I didn't want him to die without a name, without dignity, so I named him Hope." She added, "Hope to me is a special name, not only meaning of hope, but what it stands for. Many years ago, I got the name Hope tattooed on my fingers because to me it means help one person every day." Despite Hope's amazing recovery, he still needs further surgery to treat his hypospadias, a birth defect where a male's urethra does not open where it should at the head of the penis. Miss Loven explained in her latest social media post, "Hypospadias is an inborn condition in which one has an incomplete developed urethra. The doctors found this inborn condition in Hope, so next week Hope will have surgery." However, she assured Hope's followers that the operation has been performed by doctors many times, so the youngster will be fine. Miss Loven is now appealing for donations to her foundation to save the lives of more abandoned and malnourished children like Hope. "Thousands of children are being accused of being witches, and we've both seen torture of children, dead children, and frightened children," she said. Anya added, "Do we raise Hope to hate his parents that abandoned him, accused him of being a witch, and left him alone on the street to die? No, of course not. Superstition is caused by a lack of structural education, extreme poverty, religious fanaticism, and corruption," she said. "No society can develop if its people are deprived of basic human rights such as access to education, healthcare, and social protection," she further said. Children are born with no prejudices. It is when children are taught what to think and not how to think we fail as a society. In some cultures, accusations of witchcraft follow misfortunes such as death or illness in the family, crop failures, employment problems, or infertility. Children are in turn made into scapegoats and branded as witches. They are then typically treated like outcasts by members of their village. Anya and her team have rescued more than 300 children, and she currently cares for 76 kids in the largest children's center in West Africa. Among those are girls as young as 9 who've been tortured, sexually abused, and even buried alive before escaping their horrific fates. She added, "Education is the most powerful investment in a society and the greatest weapon against ignorance. To solve a problem, you need human interaction and communication, not judgment. We are very professional in our work. We need to help the villagers and change their mindset. We enlighten the villagers through advocacy programs in rural areas.